afternoon, Mr. Jones. My name is Cassie Meyer, and I'm a nursing student at the University of South Alabama. I'm going to do hand hygiene really quickly, and today I'm going to be performing a cardiovascular assessment on you, if that's all right.
Okay.
Okay, well, nice to meet you. I see that your shirt's already off, thank you, and your shoes as well, and I'm going to lift the bed so that your feet are elevated. All right, Mr. Jones, so the first thing I'm going to check for is your apical impulse to see if I can see it. And I do see the apical impulse. The next thing I would check for is, the next thing I would check for is the heart rate, and it should be between 60 and 100 beats per minute. And if it was not, then it would be considered irregular. And I would also tell you if it is regular as well. The next thing I'm going to tell you about is the apex of the heart. The apex of the heart is located at the 4th and 5th intercostal space and under the mid-clavicular line. And I think I also forgot to mention that the apical impulse is also located at the 4th and 5th intercostal space in the mid-clavicular line. The base of the heart is located at the 2nd intercostal space on the right and left of the sternal border. Okay, next, Mr. Jones, I'm going to go ahead and check for your apical impulse. So can you take a deep breath in, let it out, and hold it? Okay.
Okay.
Right now. Thank you. Okay, you can breathe. And I did feel the apical impulse. Next thing I'm going to do is talk about the 4 valves of the heart before I auscultate and assess them. The first valve is the aortic valve, and that is located at the 2nd intercostal space to the right of the sternal border. And the pulmonic valve is located at the left of the sternal border and is also in the 2nd intercostal space. The tricuspid valve is located at the 4th or 5th intercostal space to the left of the sternal border, and the mitral valve is located at the 5th intercostal space under the mid-clavicular line. So right now I'm going to go ahead and auscultate for those 4 areas. Okay, next I'm going to describe the relationship of the S1 and S2 phase. S1 is the beginning of systole and S2 is the beginning of diastole. S1 is the lub sound and S2 is the dub sound. S1 is heard loudest at the base of the heart, and S2 is heard loudest at the apex of the heart. S1 is the closing of the S1 is heard loudest at the closure of the aortic and the pulmonic valves, while S2 is heard loudest at the mitral and tricuspid valves, or the semilunar valves. Okay, next I'm going to, Mr. Jones, auscultate. Are you awake, Mr. Jones? Okay. I'm going to auscultate your heart rate and compare it with your carotid artery. Okay. So So I'm going to get you to take a deep breath in and let it out and hold it.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Jones. Could you look to your left for me? Thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, so now I'm going to listen for carotid bruits in your neck. So I'm going to look on both sides of your neck in 3 different spots with the bell of my stethoscope. So could you take a deep breath and let it out and hold it for each side? Okay, so look to your left, please. Okay, thank you. When I listened for the carotid bruits, there were no bruits. And when I listened for the pulmonic, when I listened to the carotid artery, when I felt the carotid artery and listened to the apical impulses, they were the same. They were equal. Okay, next, Mr. Jones, I'm going to check the rest of the pulses in your body.
So,
I'm gonna take this off. Okay. So first I'm going to feel each carotid artery. So would you mind just breathe normally and look to your left? Okay, now look to your right. Okay, and I'm going to assess your brachial pulse. Now your radial. Okay, next I would normally listen to the femoral or feel the femoral pulse, but I'm not going to in this assessment, but it is located below the pelvis but above the iliac crest. Next I'm going to feel the 2 pulses, the dorsalis pedis and okay. All 6 pulses were equal bilateral and a 2+ strength. Now I'm going to check for edema. There was no swelling in your legs, Mr. Jones, so that is great. And now, last thing I'm going to check are your fingernails. So could I see your hand, please? So the first thing I'm going to look for is his nail bed. I'm going to look at his nail bed, and I'm going to see if there's any signs of cyanosis, which means blue around the nail beds, but there is not any. Instead, all of his nail beds are pink. Next, I'm going to look at the angle of the nail bed, and it is 160 degrees. And Mr. Jones, could you put your fingernails together like this? And I'm going to see if I can see a diamond shape in there. And yes, I can. So that means that it's 160 degrees and no clubbing, which is good. And lastly, Mr. Jones, I'm going to check your capillary refill. So I'm going to press down on your nail bed and see how quickly the color returns. Okay, the color returned in less than 3 seconds, which is good. So, Mr. Jones, that completes my cardiovascular assessment of you. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
thank you.